Oxygen cascade. It is the stepwise reduction in partial pressure of oxygen as it passes from the environment to the tissues, encompassing following points. The partial pressure of oxygen in the atmosphere is calculated as FiO2 into barometric pressure. FiO2 is 0.21 and barometric pressure is 101. The value comes as 21 kilopascal. As the inspired air enters upper respiratory tract, it is saturated with water vapors. So partial pressure of oxygen is given as FiO2 into barometric pressure minus saturated vapor pressure. The value comes as 20 kilopascal. As the inspired air mixes with dead space gases in the trachea, PO2 falls down to 15 kilopascal. The inspired air enters the alveolus and mixes with the alveolar carbon dioxide. Alveolar partial pressure of oxygen is calculated by alveolar gas equation. The partial pressure of oxygen is equal to FiO2 into barometric pressure minus saturated vapor pressure of water minus partial pressure of carbon dioxide divided by respiratory quotient. The value comes as 13.8 kilopascal, where partial pressure of carbon dioxide is taken as 5.3 kilopascal and the respiratory quotient is taken as 0.8. Oxygen diffuses across alveolar capillary membrane to enter the pulmonary capillary. The pulmonary capillary oxygen reaches equilibrium with the alveolar PO2 as there is sufficient time for the oxygen to diffuse across the membrane. The value of oxygen in pulmonary capillary is 13.8 kilopascal. However, low pulmonary capillary oxygen occurs in conditions like thickened alveolar capillary membrane and reduced alveolar surface. The partial pressure of oxygen in arterial blood is 13.3 kilopascal. The fall in oxygen tension between alveolus and the arterial blood occurs because of right to left shunt. It can be due to anatomical shunt, which is due to bronchial circulation and Sebacean veins, or ventilation perfusion mismatch, because there is relatively more perfusion than ventilation in lungs. Partial pressure of oxygen in tissue capillaries is 6 kilopascal. The fall in oxygen tension occurs due to oxygen uptake by the tissues. Partial pressure of oxygen in mitochondria is 1 to 2 kilopascal. Due to metabolic activity of tissue, mitochondrial oxygen tension is low. Pasteur point. It is the critical threshold for PO2 in the mitochondria, below which anaerobic metabolism activates to generate ATP molecule. The value of partial pressure of oxygen is 0.3 kilopascal.